What is up, guys? I'm Get Flanked, and welcome to episode 5 of What Would You Do? This is a series where we break down a single situation in the game, and we analyze the different choices I could make in that situation. Now, as always, I'm going to break down the situation, and I'm going to give you my take on how I analyze it, but with this series, the biggest input comes from you guys, and how you guys are analyzing this situation. Please keep in mind, there are no right or wrong answers to what you would do in this situation. The goal is just to get as many perspectives as possible. That way, the next time we find ourselves in these situations, we can think outside of our comfort zone and try to come up with different solutions than we normally would because we have that mindset from other players. Okay, getting into the video here, the situation we're going to break down takes place in the round that you're watching right now, so pay attention. But I just want to set the stage. I am playing with 4 randoms in ranked, and that's important to keep in mind as we go through the situation. Now, on the screen right now, you're seeing me just kind of save my drone. I have a pretty good idea of where the objective is. My teammate finds it here in just a second with his drone. So I'm just saving my drone in here. This is a place where I really like to breach on this map. So keeping my drone right here handy in case I do decide to come this way is my mindset right now. Okay, so as we get into the round, it's important to note that they're in CEO office. It's the top floor of this objective, and I spawn on the other side of the map from my team. And a lot of times when I'm playing with randoms in ranked, that's okay. I will play a lone wolf, and it doesn't matter if I spawn close to my teammates. But you're going to see I start heading over towards their direction at this point. And there's a couple reasons for that, but the number one of which is because where I like to use Hibana's gadget or her utility on this map, on this objective, is from the skylight over here. I can open up this wall with Hibana's gadget from relative safety from the skylight and really put pressure on this objective. Now, you couple that with the fact that my team is all over here, it really made this decision pretty easy. Even though I like to breach on that part of the map, I decided to come over here and use my gadget, use my utility to help the team out and again, just to put pressure on this objective and see kind of where this puts us. Now, it's important to note that there is a Thatcher on my team, and if there hadn't been, I would have been a little less likely to come over here because these walls would probably be muted or banded. But with the Thatcher, I felt comfortable coming over here. I didn't feel like it would be a waste of time. So here we are, guys. We open up the wall, and we're going to freeze it right there. What would you do in this situation? How would you proceed right now as an attacker to make sure that you win this round? And the reason I wanted to break the situation down is because I feel like a lot of attacking rounds kind of stall at this point. You know, you've opened a couple things up, you and your teammates are putting pressure on the objective, that's all good, but the defense is in there bunkered down, and they know where you're coming from now. They can focus on these holes and use them to their advantage as well. In fact, one of the defenders just picked up a kill on one of my teammates there a second ago. So how do you proceed right now? How do you not stall out? Now, there's 2 minutes left in the round, so the possibilities on what I could actually do right now are endless. I mean, there's a lot of different things I can do. So let's simplify it by just breaking it into 2 different directions. Do I, at this point, continue pushing with my teammates, or do I kind of go lone wolf and do my own thing? Let's first talk about pushing with the team and staying on this side of the map. The advantages there are their strength in numbers, and we have opened up the objective, so if we play smart as a team right now and play our angles, we probably should win this round, in all honesty. Another advantage to pushing with the team is that I'm already over here, so it doesn't require me to go across the map, which when you're moving around the map and stuff like that, you are putting yourselves at risk to die away from the objective in a dumb way. At this point, I'm close to the objective, I'm with my team, I don't have to really take any extreme risk in order to put myself in a good situation. So now let's talk a little bit about the other choice of going lone wolf or rotating to the other side of the map, whatever you want to call it. The advantages there are we've clearly made a lot of noise on this side of the map. The defender's focus is probably going to be over here for the most part. And if you go lone wolf or rotate, you can kind of take advantage of that by coming up behind them or surprising them from an angle where they're not really focusing on. There's a couple different ways you can go about it. I mean, there's a lot of different ways I can go to change my direction on this map. Keep in mind, there's a couple windows that look directly into office. I could go over there and just bust those open and look in there. I don't really like that necessarily. Maybe, again, if I was playing as a Blackbeard, I might think about that. But as a Hibana, I don't really feel like that's where she's strong and holding a line of sight on a window. If I was going to go lone wolf, I'd probably rotate to the other side of the map and just push from a completely different direction. So that's my thought process as I'm analyzing this situation. What are you guys thinking right now? Make sure you're letting me know down in the comments. And with that said, I'm just going to let the rest of this round play out, and you'll see what decision I decide to make. And then we'll come back and break down, and I'll tell you guys why I decided to make that decision.
Valkyrie's walking from small stairs.
Careful. On the left. Hibana has a hole in the other wall.
Popping a flashbang.
Op 4 last op.
Nice.
Op 4 eliminated.
Okay, so as you saw there, I decided to go lone wolf. I rotated to the other side of the map, and it worked out well. So let's talk about why I made that decision. The number one factor that played into me going lone wolf instead of pushing with my teammates there is that I'm playing with randoms. If I was playing with my team, the people that I'm comfortable with, the people that I know, and we're all communicating, I would have been much less likely to go lone wolf there. Because again, in that situation with the objective opened up, if you play as a team, if you know your angles, if everybody works together, uses all your gadgets, uses all your utility, you probably should win that round. But I'm playing with randoms, and randoms are randoms. You know, I'm not saying that any of these guys that I was playing with are bad or anything, but I'm just saying you don't really know what they're going to do. You can't really predict them, and you can't really rely on them, to be completely honest. The other thing that really played into the decision for me was that all of my teammates were on this side of the map, and we were more or less all pushing from the same side. And if you put yourself in that predictable situation where the defense can really just focus on one direction, you make their jobs much easier. And that really played into my decision here to rotate and make them have to at least worry about multiple directions instead of just this direction that my teammates are pushing from. Now, that is true whether you're playing with randoms or with a team that you're comfortable with, and there's always something to be said about applying pressure on the objective from multiple directions, giving the defenders more angles to worry about. Now, with that said, I could have breached this window right here, jumped in, and died instantly to somebody who was in there waiting for me. I didn't drone it out except for in the preparation phase, but that's the risk that you take when you decide to go lone wolf or push from a flank. Now, maybe I should have droned that room out at least, considering my drone was already in there, but I really felt like the two things that made me successful in this was I caught them by surprise, first of all, and second, that my timing was good, meaning that they weren't looking my direction when I was pushing. And there's a couple of things that go into that. Some of it is luck, but the other is that I got there at a time when my teammates are still pushing from that other direction, which means that they're going to be focused that way, more or likely. Okay guys, so that is my thought process for this situation and why I decided to make that decision. Really interested to see how you guys break down this situation and what you would have done. So make sure you let me know down in the comments. Looking forward to reading through all of those. If you enjoyed this, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll have more coming your way here soon.